Let me see some other results there that did interest me quite a bit. Rattata versus Goblin 3-1 recently versus Geralt 3-2. Art as well 2-1. So he seems to be doing alright against some of the other races, you know, against pretty tough opponents. And I'm wondering if, you know, maybe you'll try to get that going here in some other matchup as well. We'll have to wait and see, really. Someone I don't get to see enough of, at least. In the top left side, the Blue Zerg, hailing from Russia and fighting for Good Game Gaming. It is Rattata.
And at the bottom right, you all know him, you all love him. It's the Italian Stallion, the world champion, of course, playing for Kitesy Gaming. It is Reynor.
Okay. Kicking things off pretty casually here. You know, a slow start, not a lot of adrenaline running through their system, I guess.
Yeah, we do have, I mean, the slight variance here with the early opening from Rattata going for that 14-14 pool gas just after that hatchery. So just giving him a little bit of faster timing on the pool and the gas. It means you're going to have a quicker speed. You're going to have lings out faster. I think in all eventualities, this turns out to be more of a defensive build here. Like, sure, you can try and push this across the map, but really the advantage that you get on those timings is not, I think, big enough that it's going to be a danger to Reynor, that he shouldn't have his own lings, his own queens up in time to defend it. So it's a nice safe opening here for Rattata. Of course, you would have lings out if your opponent did end up going for a 14 pool before hatch or for a 12 pool, which have kind of just been fitting their way into ZVZ, especially when you're looking at best of 5s and best of 7s. But obviously in a best of 3, in a matchup where Reynor feels confident, just going for a completely standard opening makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you know, especially as the player that kind of is a bit more likely to win, you know. A bit more proven in his capabilities here. Overall, should be feeling pretty steady. And it is still a best of 3. You can get caught off guard here a little bit quickly, but, you know, you still have those potentially 2 other matches there to kind of reconvene.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, I mean, that speed time doesn't end up being that big, but we see here Rattata does want to turn this into some aggression, because that's going to be a very, very early Baneling Nest, and Reynor is actually throwing down, I mean, what would be a pretty, you know, if you were expecting this game to go long, which is Cosmic Sapphire, this is a big map, I think you expect to play macro here. It's fine to put down this really quick third hatchery. The Baneling Nest, though, is going to be so much later for Reynor, and with that slight speed advantage, this can actually become quite a difficult hold for Reynor if he doesn't realize what's coming across the map. Now, his Overlord spread is good, so he has vision for when these additional Zerglings will come across the map, and that Overlord right there is actually flying. It might see the Banelings, and if it does, this could be a massive little tip off here for Reynor. And there we go. He's going to see them before they even get into his base.
Yeah, already has that wolf right here available. Oh, actually, there's still a little bit of a gap. Puts a drone there. And a queen. Should be okay.
Yep. Yeah, this is so nicely done so far by Reynor. I mean, extremely good that he got that catch, but now the Ling's coming on in. You have to be careful. The rewall with the evolution chambers, but there's not a lot of HP left on that one at the front wall, as the queens are holding up very, very well right now. The first queen is going to drop down, though. Reynor, where his own Lings, where his own Banelings? Well, they're on the ramp right now. He's just trying to buy time. The transfusion does such a good job of that. As now the Banelings are going to stream on in. Oh, Reynor!
That is rough,
That is massive.
That was so many Banelings.
Yeah, that is disastrous for Rattata. I mean, you just walk in 6 Banelings. Yeah, Reynor's just going to do that. Just say, okay, that's a free detonation for me. And now another one, and that's just going to be a very quick GG.
GG, well played.
I mean, as I said, probably not surprised. I think Reynor handled that about as well as anyone could. And, of course, Rattata there running the Banelings first. It's a good idea, because obviously if Reynor, you know, just has his Lings there that are trying to, like, close off the wall again, then you can blow those up. You also get the detonation on the Baneling Nest. But Reynor was ready. He already had his Banelings morphed in. So that just, yeah, that ends up being completely held. And, again, as Rattata, you need to probably do something a little bit more crazy. You need to try and cheese or be aggressive, because in a straight up, you know, macro ZVZ, I don't think you're going to be very confident against Reynor. You know, that's just how it is.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, just had to adjust some settings there. All right, nice. Lovely. Into the second lobby already. Everyone is waiting for me. That's very nice. That's very nice. It's spot on production here again, isn't it? With the people, the admins running everything for us, getting the lobbies hosted. Oh, it's so nice that I do that stuff.
Yeah. No, it does make our job a lot easier. But yeah, 1-0 here for Reynor. And if anyone's wondering, what is on the B stream, because obviously sometimes the schedules get mixed around a little bit. But if you're sticking on the B stream, obviously you're getting this match, and then after that, we're gonna see Young Yakov versus a Laser. So another ZVZ in that immediate follow up, and then Gerald versus 4 Jummy. So then immediately hopping to a PvP and another mirror, and then DNS versus King Cobra to kind of round it all off very nicely there, with just a solid second PvP. So we're getting 2 of those mirrors. It's gonna be a fun time. You know, we get to see. I think especially though in that group B, seeing those Protoss versus Protoss matches is gonna be super important, because that's a group with, you know, 6 Protoss players. So seeing which players are in what form, especially that Gerald versus 4 Jummy matchup, that I think is going to be a really, really important one, just to see what form those players are in. And then of course, you of course have like Showtime and Showdown, who I think most people expect to kind of top that group.
Yeah, I think you're again pretty right there. I mean, with the 2 groups with 6 Protoss in there, it's just gonna happen, right? You're gonna have to do a lot of PvP, and well, if you're good at that matchup, maybe this is your tournament right now. I know that MaxPax was kind of struggling with the way he had opened up in Group D. He was saying that, you know, he was a bit disappointed having the first loss there, but yeah, you know, he's pretty good at PvP as well. I think he should be able to get back on that horse again. Anyway, continuing game number 2 between 2 other fine players.
Absolutely. Top right hand corner. He is down 0-1. Tried to be a little bit cheeky there, but let's be honest, Reynor had it completely under control, playing for Good Game Gaming. It's Rattata.
And the bottom left side, the red Zerg fighting for Kaisi Gaming from Italy. It is Reynor.
All right, and we're on to Inside and Out. So definitely a different map, one that is, I would say, a bit harder to do that high ground wall off. But you have the ramp, of course, so that kind of evens out. And we'll see if there's going to be any aggression here. And I was going to say any aggression from Rattata, but hey, Reynor says, listen, I'm already up 1-0. I may as well be safe here. Throws down that 16 pool. No gas with this, so this will be more defensive. He's going to get out those early lings. He'll have his hatchery not that far behind Rattata's. And he's safe in case his opponent did actually go for any sort of aggressive opening.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you feel like you can micro your way out of that, or macro your way out of that, I should say, more so, in the later holes in parts of the game, then yeah, this is the way to go. Always interesting to me that, like, it's fun now that the Europeans kind of switch that opinion after a little while. You know, the Koreans usually were like of the opinion, if you're better than your opponent, you should cheese, and then the Europeans were more like, no, if you're better, you should just play the regular game, because, you know, because you're better, that's just how you win. But yeah, it's kind of nice seeing that going back and forth there.
Yeah, I definitely feel like this is a pretty good. This is gonna be a good situation for Reynor. You know, you get these early lings out, you'll be able to apply pressure and maybe go across the map. Again, realistically, the 16 pool on its own is not aggressive. It is actually a very defensive opening for Reynor, but this is an opening that he can macro out of. Now, interestingly enough, and I want to hear your opinion on this, because that's an evolution chamber coming down before anything else. Like, there's a pool, and then there's an evo chamber here for Rattata. And I don't know if he meant for that to be a Baneling nest, but no, he's going for +1 ranged weapon. So I imagine this has to be roaches that are going to be coming off 2 bases.
Well, if it isn't, then it's certainly a misclick, and he just tried to set up Baneling speed or something like that. But I mean, that's not what's happening here. No. Yeah, I agree. It has to be roaches, right? You're just gonna try to get some sort of a quick push going. I'm guessing you're gonna forego speed here with this attack as well, right? Because we just arrived so late right now. You're already spending all that gas for the upgrade, so you're not going to have
Yeah,
that quick
no.
layer. But, well, we'll see how it works against Zerglings. Could be really good, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if Reynor is necessarily going to expect this kind of an opening. This type of a build is very all in. Like this, you commit to this, and that is it. This is your game plan. You have to get damage done with that. As you said, there's no layer, there's no roach speed. These upgrades need to carry the fight, and of course with the +1, the roaches will be very, very efficient in clearing out the Zerglings. They already have that armor, but look at Reynor. I mean, this. Let me tell you, when was the last time you saw someone just flood Zerglings off 2 bases?
Oh, it happens.
Kozan.
It happens, man. Those
I know it happens,
Koreans.
but here's the crazy part. I actually think Rattata's really ready for this. Like, the +1 roaches help well, but you need to try and wall this off. Rattata, where's your wall? Needs another evolution chamber to get on in there. Does manage to find it just in time, as now the roaches are coming out. There's a secondary wall there with the roaches that are actually being created. Another choke point as they come on down. It's so many Zerglings, though, here. From Reynor, he's gonna find the surround. The drones are having to fight, and those roaches, even though they have armor, it does not matter when you are just outnumbered this heavily. 29 lings now coming on in. Roaches trying to fight the best they can, and again, the value of the roaches just does not really matter here. They are going to go down. There's only 2 more in production, and it felt like this would be a good response